Just ask the Steelers. Steelers and Ravens. The Steelers go into this, the third playoff team to end the regular season with a losing streak of at least 4 games. Spoiler alert, the previous 2 did not make it past the divisional round. Spoiler alert, the Steelers are in trouble because Derrick Henry is a beast. You know who knows that firsthand? Poor Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, that's a gain of 34.
That's also a grown man.
That is a very, we should have known. This was the moment that set the tone. Of course, Lamar loves it. Later in the drive, it's 3rd and 13. Lamar just zip. Rashad Bateman. This is the first opening drive touchdown of Lamar's playoff career. This is his 7th playoff game. Maybe this is the beginning of the breakthrough he's been looking for. Second quarter, still 7-0. Ravens, 2nd and 13 from their own 36. Lamar, he's looking. No 1-5, toddler style. I do it myself. 15 carries, 81 yards for Lamar. That is a gain of 20. That's the longest of the game. Then 1st and goal from the 8. Lamar, Henry, touchdown. On that Ravens touchdown drive, they ran the ball all 13 plays. 13 plays, 85 yards. That made it 14-0. Steelers with the ball. 3rd and 8 from their own 44. You're like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing, Russell Wilson. I see what you're doing, George Pickens. The problem is, so did the ref. Yes, it's a big gain of 49. However, offensive pass interference. Yep, it was there. Steelers had to punt. It leads to this. Lamar. Isaiah Likely. That's also a stiff arm to Cameron Sutton, who's down at the 5. Like the stiff arm theme with this team, who did it better? Don't answer that. Just ignore me. Lamar making something happen. Wide open. Justice Hill. The Ravens picked up 19 first downs in the first half. The Steelers, they ran 18 offensive plays in the half. It was 21-0 at the break. In the third, it's now 21-7. 1st and 10 from the Steelers' 44. Lamar, Henry. Like, the defense is there. Almost quite literally all of them. I think I counted, 6 chasing him? 26 carries. Yep. 186 yards. The Ravens outrushed the Steelers by an absurd number in this game. More on that, spoiler alert. Wilson now, what can you do? Pickens is like, I would like to make up for my earlier issues. That's a great play. That is a great catch. It is also a score. That made it 28-14. Problem is, that would basically do it for the Steelers. In the 4th quarter, on a 4th and 15 from the Ravens 43, Wilson is just going to unleash this. Problem is, no, broken up. Ravens win this one easy. 28-14. They're moving on to the divisional round. I freaking love it.
Okay, sometimes a quote is better when you see it as opposed to when you read it.
Yeah,
that was the case. It was the delivery and everything.
All of it. King Henry, Lamar, whole flock of Ravens, they ran all over the Steelers. Remember when I told you they outrushed them by like an absurd margin? There it is. They set a franchise postseason record to the Ravens, 299 rushing yards. The Steelers had 29. That is not an error. They just had 29. That 270-yard difference is the 3rd largest in a playoff game in NFL history.
Congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. No.
I mean, that's how you feel.
Okay. As for the Steelers, they finish another season at 500 or better, and they end the year again without a playoff win because they have done that 8 seasons in a row now. Their 80 wins in that same time frame are the most by any team over an 8-year span.
Was nominated for Outstanding Podcast, Society, and Culture. Please go vote for you guys. Link is pinned at the top, is in our bios. And we greatly appreciate that. And thank you, NAACP, for the nominations. And congratulations to all the other nominees. Ravens run past the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-14 in the divisional round. Ocho, the Ravens ran the ball 50 times, 299 yards. Derrick Henry, 26 for $186, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson added another 81 on the ground. Lamar, 16 of 25, 175, 2 touchdowns. No turnover, only 1 sack. But the Ravens dominated this game. Even though the Steelers came out, they sped up the tempo in the second half. I really never was really worried because they had to commit too much to stop the run. There was a couple of plays, Ocho, I saw they had 8 men on the line of scrimmage, not 8 men in the box, 8 men at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
And but the Ravens, when they play like this offensively, they're very difficult to beat. Now, I'm still a little concerned about their pass coverage on the back end, Ocho. That's still a little concerning to me. Because the teams they could potentially face. Now, if the Buffalo win tomorrow, we're going to get a rematch. Baltimore, Buffalo, Houston, Kansas City. But that we're going to talk about that a little later. But let's talk about this game. Ocho, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. I believe he's going to win the MVP. You're going to believe you believe he's going to win the MVP. He showed tonight that he should be the MVP. Now, Josh Allen might come out and have one of those games he had against the Rams, 3 touchdowns rushing, 3 touchdown passing, or one of those games where he rushed for a touchdown, passed for a touchdown, catch for a touchdown. But Lamar Jackson looked extremely well tonight. Derrick Henry ran the ball. This is why they got him. But what did you love most about what you saw from the Baltimore Ravens?
Listen, from the Ravens, they dominated from the start. They dominated from the start to finish. I said it before the game started. In order for the Pittsburgh Steelers to have a chance in this game, for one, you got to counter Lamar Jackson, you got to counter Derrick Henry and the production that they were going to produce. You weren't going to have drive. You're going to march down the field and have 11, 12, 13, 14 play drives with the Steelers offense. Arthur Smith is going to have to call a different type of game in order for them to be able to hang with the Ravens. What did I say? I tweeted before the game started. Arthur Smith, the game plan should have been finding different ways to get the one offensive weapon you have that is a threat.
That is one playmaker you got.
Number 14, put him in different positions, find ways for him to make plays, to give you chunk plays, because you're not going to be able to march down the field. Najee Harris is not going to be able to. Did you see Najee Harris' numbers at the end of the game, Unc? What he had, 6 for 17?
6 carries, 17 yards.
Come on now.
They had 11 carries for 29 yards.
There's nothing you can do with that. There's nothing you can do with that. So I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Find ways to get your best offensive weapon, ways to get the ball. They hit him a few times in the second half, but at that point, you already down 2 scores. It's too late.
Actually, you was down 3 scores. You was down 21-0.
Right. Yeah, my bad.
And they got up to it. And the thing is, Ocho, they better be glad that they got to stop, because the Ravens pick up that 3rd down. When they got the ball, they got to go down the field and score. So give the Steelers credit. They bowled their back when they absolutely have to give themselves a chance. They got the ball back, go down the field, make the score 21-7. And what happens? The Ravens get the ball back, say, man, let's stop playing with y'all. D. Henry, do what you do.
Yeah.
He ended up the gut, and he scores a touchdown from 44 yards out. I love the counter that the Ravens did to the Steelers counter. They had the defensive ends crashing to try to take away that inside zone read, because a lot of times, you remember last time they played Ocho, Derrick Henry bended back, he ate them alive. They said, hey, Highsmith, Watt, crash that.
Right.
Lamar pulled it.
Yep.
Okay, y'all want to crash it? And he did it like 3-4 times in a row.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing out there.
Y'all still crashing? Okay, I'm going to pull it again. Y'all still crashing? I'm going to pull it again.
Yeah.
So I like the counter that Todd Monken had to their counter, because he knew they had to do something to stop Derrick Henry in that inside zone read. Their counter was crash the ends. Monken's counter was pull the ball. Right. I like that. And you see, running the football is all about commitment. A lot of times people think, well, man, they ain't do nothing. Well, you only gave them the ball 3 times, so you expect them to have 100 yards on 3 carries? Right. When the Ravens are committed to run the football, 50 carries is a commitment. Yeah. Yeah. Not a promise. Promises are like pie crust, thin and easily broken. They are committed. That says, you know what? Nothing else matters. We're running the football today. Yeah. Stop.
But listen, what the Steelers could have done, listen, I'm not a defensive coordinator. I'm definitely not a defensive coordinator, but everything has to have gap. Everybody has to be sound and disciplined, understanding what their assignments are in order to stop that run. Now, when I look at the Steelers defensively, I see them as a defense that can hang and, somewhat stop the run. Their identity has always, most of the time, has been their defense. Yeah. This season, their identity is their defense. The fact that they couldn't do anything with
their ability to stop the run.
Yeah, it's beyond me.
But see, Ocho,
I don't understand.
Let me tell you why. their ability to stop the run is predicated on one particular guy. But you got two guys you got to worry about.
Right.
If you overcommit to stop Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson pulls the ball and you see what he does.
Right.
Okay, you say, I'm going to hang back. Now Derrick Henry bends back.
Right.
You see, you have so much to worry about when you have a guy like Lamar with his leg. So when he fakes the ball and he rolls out pretending like he has it, it holds the backside in.
Just for a little bit.
He holding the backside in. That gives Derrick Henry an opportunity to cut the ball back if necessary. You crash, I pull. You don't, I give. Right. And so when you have multiple things to worry about, that's what makes a guy like Lamar so dangerous. You worry about his arm and you worry about his legs. Yeah. He's not just, he's just going to throw the ball. Look at the guys that's in Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't run as much as Lamar. He doesn't run as much as Josh Allen, but you better worry about his legs because we've seen the past two Super Bowls. It was his legs that basically ended up winning them the game.
On third downs, too.
That's it.
Third downs, too, yeah.
Basically all the guys that's in the playoffs, what can they do? With the exception of Sam Darnold, all the guys got legs. CJ Stroud can run a little bit, not much. But you look at Lamar, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Josh Allen, those guys can move.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them so dangerous. If they don't turn the ball over, they're going to be difficult to beat.
Right.
Now, defensively, you'll have to tighten up. Now, if you look at the way they played today, look at the situation. On that touchdown ball, that was cover 2.
Yeah.
The inside slot, he takes off running. Marlon has to go with him, but the safety sees that he's going hard. He can't get over the top. Right. So he's late getting over the top because what does the DB talk to do? I'm gonna push him. He didn't push him inside. He let Pickens get outside. You got to shove him inside. Now, when you shove him inside, you sink, but you watching the flat.
Right.
Well, he let Pickens get outside. The slot is screaming up the field. The safety can't get all the way over because there's a hole shot. He holds just long enough. Russ hits him. Boom. Touchdown.
Yeah.
And that won the first touchdown. That's quarters. I don't know what the DB think. Ocho, that looked like they were in quarters because everybody just rotated back. Bro, you got to get back.
Supposed to be back up out of there. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. Well, Hamilton was trying to direct traffic before the snap of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if the communication was off and he couldn't hear. Everybody couldn't hear what was going on. But
I tell you what, Ocho, you can direct traffic all you want to, but you better get your ass out the traffic. You better get your ass out the freeway because they'll run your ass over. They don't care nothing about you directing traffic.
Right.
Hey, you doing all this and talk about you better move your ass out the way. Yeah. But when the Ravens play like this, Ocho, look at the efficiency in which they ran the ball. They only threw the ball 21 times.
Yeah.
They ran it 50 times for the tune of 300 yards, 6 yards a pop. So guess what that means? We control the clock.
It's another thing when I think about this, right? I think about the AFC. I think about all the teams in the AFC, and I look at them from a defensive standpoint. To me, when I think about the Bills defense and I think about the Chiefs defense, out of the three, including the Steelers tonight, who has the best defense and the personnel to be able to stop the run? Out of the three I just named.
The Chiefs.
You think so?
I like the Chiefs the best. Okay.
Because
sometimes your best defense is your offense.
Right.
So Buffalo can do it also because they got Josh Allen. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, he's going to get it.
Right.
He's going to get it. And so a lot of times, the best way to really defend the Ravens offense is to keep Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry ass on the sideline.
Okay, I see where you're going with it.
That's the best way because eventually you're going to give them enough looks and Todd Monken is going to figure a way to get his playmakers in position to make plays. Right. The best way to negate that is to keep them on the sideline. That's what the Ravens did to the Steelers. Well, you say, well, they only have a few playmakers. Well, you can't make plays when you're on the sideline because think about the yardage that they had. They had 20 minutes in the first half to 10. They had 300 yards to 64. Well, I don't know what you're gonna do unless you're getting short fields because your defense is forcing turnovers. You're not gonna do a whole lot with 64 yards.
No,
not much.
No,
not much at all.
Not at all.
When the Ravens play like this, when they are committed to the run, they committed to the run today. They came out and Todd Monken says, we are going to run the damn football. Lamar Jackson says, I ain't trying to be cute. I ain't all that other stuff. He's like, look, I heard what he said. He said, I've been antsy. Maybe I've been trying to do too much.
Right. When you think about this, right? Ever since Lamar Jackson, mama cussed his ass out.
Yes.
5 weeks ago, they ain't lost a game since.
Nope.
They ain't lost a game since. I'm sure what mama said, in short term, baby, get out there and do what you do well. Don't try anything else. Do what you do well. You're special. There's something about you that is special. There's a reason why you make that goddamn $250 million. They paid you for that for one reason. And it wasn't to sit back there and drop back 50 times and throw the goddamn ball. So I mean that's it. And when the thing about it is, what happens if they commit to the run? Now, depending on who they play next, we don't know who it's going to be. I'm assuming it might be Matter of fact, it's going to be Buffalo. It's going to be a rematch again. What happens when they commit to the run, but the Bills commit to stopping the run? Even though the Bills are a little undersized up front, but what's going to happen then?
Well, here's the thing. If the Ravens won, if the Bills win, Baltimore travels to Buffalo. It'll be a rematch of week 3, week 4. Derrick Henry ran wild. I think he had 199 yards rushing. Now, if that's the case, if the Broncos win, the Broncos would then travel to Kansas City, and then the Texans would travel to Baltimore.
Okay.
So,
I like the hypothetical. I like the hypothetical.
Ocho, we got to give it.
Are you covering all the bases?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to let the chat know what happens if the Broncos pulls the upset. If the Broncos pulls the upset, the Broncos goes to Kansas City, and the Texans travel to Baltimore. If the Buffalo wins,
right?
If Buffalo wins, the Texans travel to Kansas City, and Baltimore goes to Buffalo.
I tell you what. Even though you're covering all the bases, the fact that you even utter those words out of your mouth and saying that the Broncos even have a chance of beating Buffalo.
They do. That's why they call it football.
I know. That's why they call it football. But listen, if so happen, God comes down and the football gods bless the Broncos and Bo Nix, and they happen to beat the Buffalo Bills, which is highly doubtful, I double what I owe you.
Prepare yourself. Be ready.
Sorry, kid.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.